Hey, yo, everyone, Andrew here, bringing you another video review. Do you know what today is? Today is Wednesday, the best day of the week. You know why? Because it's comic book day. And that means we're going to be talking about my comic load for the week. Now, it's week 3 of the month, and I always dub week 3 Batman week because the majority of the Batman titles come out this week. So, without any further ado, let's just jump into it, and we'll start where we always start with a little bit of Batman. Of course, not actually with Batman, just with the Batman family. Let's do Nightwing issue number 12. So, Nightwing is going up against the leader of the Republic of Tomorrow, and we finally figure out who's been framing Nightwing and how all this stuff is coming together, and really what's been going on in the shadows, for lack of a better term, of the New 52 for Nightwing since the start of the New 52. A big blowout fight. These two go at each other, and it takes Nightwing needing to pull a few strings in order to take this guy down. But, we're talking about Nightwing here. Dick Grayson, first Robin, a former Batman. I don't think there's anything he can't handle. But will Nightwing get out of this unscathed, or will his good name get tarnished? Just gonna have to read and see. Good, bad, whether or not you should get it. Good, the action was really nice in this. I did like the fight between the leader of the Republic of Tomorrow and Nightwing. Um, the leader's blade thing, it was really cool, and it's definitely a threatening weapon. I also liked how it came down kind of to just a brawl, too. The resolve was very nice, and it kind of had a good ending, too. Bad, there wasn't anything really bad about this at all. I guess you could say the only bad is it didn't do anything to wow me, didn't do anything risky or daring. Um, on a whole, whether or not you should get it. Yeah, this was a good issue, and I think at this issue, at the end of it, I finally start to appreciate the Republic of Tomorrow, and particularly the leader, whose name escapes me, but I think he could be a good rogue for Nightwing. Not only aesthetically does he look good, but he has a interesting motivation and interesting gimmick to him. So I'm gonna give this a 3 out of 5. On to Red Hood and the Outlaws. So Red Hood and the Outlaws, we're continuing this War of Tamaran with the oh, I forget what the name is, the evil darkness that's coming across on Tamaran, and Red Arrow, no, Arsenal. Roy, how many names do you have? Seriously. But Arsenal is being tortured, and information is being taken out of him. But the question is this: has he allowed himself to get captured? Is this part of a bigger plan? Is Roy Harper playing everyone, friends and foe alike? Well, you're just gonna have to read and see. Good, bad, whether or not you should get it. Good, they changed up the artists, and while I do like the artists previously in this issue, they got rid of that mole that Starfire has, which is, I think the mole was, or the beauty mark, I thought it was stupid, so I'm glad they got rid of that. I don't know if it's going to be a permanent thing, but the art was pretty good. I think Roy Harper was handled very nicely in this, in that even though he is a goofball, and Roy is a goofball. A lot of it's a front because he's gone through a lot, drug wise, and betraying his friends, and he's been to the bottom. But he's a smart dude, and he plays everyone, and he plays them well. An interesting twist with Blackfire, which I'm not sure if I can totally believe, but still interesting twist nonetheless. And we have the continuation, and I'm really am interested to see where the story goes from here, because this is going to continue in issue 14, no 13, sorry. Bad, it's called Red Hood and the Outlaws, but I felt as though there was very little Red Hood in this. I would have liked to see a little bit more Jason. I mean, he is the star of this title. But besides that, on a whole, it was a pretty decent issue, 4 out of 5. Um, Definitely worth picking up. Catwoman issue number 12. So we're on to the Dollhouse Doll Maker story arc's end. And we find out that this doll maker is a relative of the same doll maker from Batman, Detective Comics. So there is a connection between the two. And Catwoman basically is going in there alone to take on this psychopath. However, Catwoman is not stupid. Tad bit of spoiler, Catwoman has Spark call on the Batman. Because, see, Catwoman's, again, not stupid. She's crazy. She has some problems. There's no denying that. I mean, kleptomaniac, really doesn't have her life straight, like shiny things, but Catwoman's not stupid. So when the going gets tough, she calls in the heavy guns. What I really do like that as an answer to some of the problems. It shouldn't be used so often, but say if Batman was in an overwhelming fight against Solomon Grundy, and let's just say for whatever reason Batman couldn't beat Solomon Grundy, I figured Batman would be smart enough to go, Clark, Clark, take care of this guy. Boom, it'd be done. And Catwoman knows that she cannot handle what's going on. She needs Batman's help. Good writing. I thought the dialogue was good. I thought the internal dialogue was good. The art was good, and on a whole, it wrapped up a mediocre story arc actually fairly well because I really didn't care about the story arc. But at the end of the story arc, I start to say, well, this kind of represents what Catwoman is, and this kind of represents what she does. She's a champion for the people that have no champions, for the kids that are runaways, to the prostitutes and the drug dealers that, or the druggies that hit rock bottom, for people that have no hope in their life, that want hope, they need that champion, and Catwoman is that champion. And again, it wasn't that great of a story arc, but it was a good ending to the story arc. So, 4.5 out of 5. It was a good issue. Birds of Prey issue number 12. So, Poison Ivy is the bully on the playground lately. She is blackmailing and pushing everyone around, basically saying that she's the shits and everyone needs to follow her because she's Poison Ivy. She's kind of evil. And Black Canary even admits that she was a fool not to listen to Batman because, well, Poison Ivy is kind of evil. She's not a good person. So basically, that's the deal. The birds are getting fed up with being blackmailed and by Poison Ivy, and they make a plan. Is the plan perfect? No, because the plan is probably going to bite them in the ass in the end. So what will go down? Will the Birds of Prey be able to defeat Poison Ivy, find a cure for the poison, and save the day, or will unfortunately one of their own die? It's gonna have to read and see. Good, bad, whether or not you should get it. Um, I like how the Birds of Prey are doing different kind of stories. It's not just traditional superhero stories or Black Ops stories. Sometimes they're doing stories that are very internal. I like how this showcased Poison Ivy, where she is a person that's willing to do whatever she can, whatever she needs to do to get the job done, because she's so committed to her cause. I also like the solution that they go with in this, in that we have resources, might as well use the resources. And I think the final, not the final fight, but the battle at the end was actually pretty fun. It was short, but it was fun. So I did like that. Bad, just like Nightwing, there's nothing bad with this, but the story arc is kind of wrapping up a little anticlimactic. It's not even wrapping up because I think this is going to continue issue number 13. It left on a cliffhanger, which it was a cliche cliffhanger, but a good cliffhanger. Another good is the art. Well, it's not as good as it was in the first few issues, are better than it was in the recent two issues. I'll give this a 3.5 out of 5. It was a good issue. I did enjoy it. Not perfect, not the best that the Birds of Prey have been pulling out, but still fun. Batwoman issue number 12. So, Batwoman is investigating Medusa even more and more. She's finding out that Medusa isn't necessarily a group, but actually a person, the Greek mythology monster. So, she needs some help. And she needs some help from a wondrous person. Um, yes, basically, this is the start of a team up between Batwoman and Wonder Woman. And we might as well just jump into the good, the bad, and whether you should get it. Good. I like how Batwoman is dramatically different from other Batman titles in that she's kind of the Legends of Dark Knights, the superstitious and monstrous stuff, the more paranormal kind of things that go on in the Batman universe than the traditional Batman stuff. How what they did is they told Batwoman's story parallel to Wonder Woman story, which was really cool. I thought, although the art wasn't perfect for Wonder Woman, at some points it was dynamic, so I'll give credit there. And this story was a lot easier to follow and a lot more well handled than it was in previous issues. Bad, I mean, they didn't actually get to team up until the end, but I wouldn't say that's a bad. Um, on a whole, whether you should get it, Batwoman was the last comic I read this week, and I was surprised on how good it was because Batwoman's been okay as of recently. The art has been fantastic, but the story has been just okay as of recently. I think this is a step up for what we've been getting. So, Batwoman issue number 12, I'll give it a 4.5 out of 5. It was a really fun issue, and I'm interested in the team up. I like how Batwoman's kind of going to the beat of her own drum. Green Lantern issue number 12. So Hal and Sinestro have to take care of these zombie Black Lantern wannabes. I'm calling them Black Lantern wannabes because they don't actually have lantern rings. And they have to go all out to take them down. We get to learn a little bit more of the Guardians of the Galaxies and what they're doing to manipulate the Green Lanterns. And we find out a shocking truth to what will happen to Hal Jordan, why he will not be the Green Lantern, why this other guy with the mask, Biz is his name, is going to be the Green Lantern, and exactly Hal's position, his play that he's going to do, what he is going to be in the Third Army. We're going to see in this issue. Good, bad, whether or not you should get it. Classic that we're getting from, not classic, but the standard that we've been getting from this story thus far. Good Sinestro and Hal Jordan interaction. I like the solution that they use to fight the Black Lantern zombies with. And I also like to see the Guardians and how they're talking and how over this past year, everything that's happened to the Green Lanterns has been to their design. To Hal, to Sinestro, to Guy, to Kyle, to John Stewart. It's all been of their design. Bad. The only bad I can say is after the way they teased what will happen to Hal Jordan, they did. I think Jeff did it one too many times. If he saved it to the very end, it would have been a little bit more shock value than it would have been if he kind of did a tease here and then a tease here and then he's like, "Hey, here's the whole thing." So on a whole, I think I will give this a 4.5 out of 5. This was a really good issue though, enjoyable. Supergirl issue number 12. So, Supergirl has finally decided to work with Superman, and they find the location to one of the pieces of her ship. However, Supergirl is still in her angsty adolescence, so she snaps at Superman quite a bit and decides to go off on her own. However, was this a wise idea? Because she has an encounter from a enemy from the past, and well, let's just say this enemy, they can give Supergirl a run for her money. Good, bad, whether or not you should get it. Good. I like to see more interaction with Kal-El, with Clark, with Superman. I like that. Again, I like the whole Kryptonian aspect, how it divulges a lot into the Kryptonian mythos, especially with the ship and, it was circling the sun. Why was it circling the sun? That's how she built up so much power. It's the reveal at the end with the villain. I kind of saw it a little bit coming, but I was so happy when I saw it because I think this guy was actually pretty cool. So I'm happy this person is in this issue. Bad, nothing really. It was an okay issue. I'll give it 3.5 out of 5. I enjoyed it. So, looking forward to issue 0 with her. Okay, we're coming up on the last 5 titles. Let's get through these quickly. Blue Beetle, issue number 12. So, Jaime basically has to go up against Paco again, as he is the Blood Beetle. Um, and basically, it's a fight between the two of them. What I particularly like about this issue, and I'm just going to go into the good and the bad, because it's really just like a WWE matchup, is a, intercontinental ladder match at WrestleMania. That's basically what this is. What I particularly like is I like how the Scarab is evolving and it's growing with Jaime. I like the relationship and the friendship that Jaime has with Brenda and with Paco, and the relationship he has with his grandmother. And you know what I think is in this they touch a bit upon religion, and I don't really like having too much religion or politics in my comics because it can go preachy either which way, either pro religion or against the religion, pro politics or against the politics. But what I liked about this is it shows that. Jaime is Catholic. It shows that he's Catholic, and whether you're Catholic or not, it really shouldn't apply. But what it does show is that, I mean, Jaime could be Jewish, he could be Protestant, he could be Lutheran, he could be anything. What I do like about this is it shows that he has faith in something, and it's in his religion, and he doesn't. It's not shoved down our throat saying, being Catholic is almighty and powerful. What it's saying is here's a character who has a set beliefs. And I think it was actually handled well because it was kind of given to us as something important to the character, but again, is nothing that's shoved down our throat, which I thought was handled actually pretty nicely. Usually, comic books can't handle religion or politics that well, but Blue Beetle did it pretty well here. The final fight, though, wasn't punch, kick, boom. It did have a very good resolve to it, showing how good of a character Jaime is and the sacrifices he's willing to make. Bad, none. This was a great issue. Actually, this was a really good issue. 5 out of 5. Captain Atom, issue number 12. Now, I've been reading Captain Atom on the side, and while it hasn't been the best in the New 52, I do have a soft spot for it. I think it's been the best Captain Atom series in a while. I think the biggest problem with Captain Atom is it's been slow, but what it does have going for it, it has a very relatable character. This guy, this average schmuck who has godlike powers, and we can kind of put ourselves in his position, who just wants to have a normal life, to be with the girl, to kind of walk among man. But it's very high concept, and it was actually again very slow to start off. But I have enjoyed Captain Atom. I think it's been a decent series, kind of a series that's been swept under the rug, and I don't know why. Um, this issue is basically resolving everything with Captain Atom, and eventually leads to a decision that he makes that is very Doctor Manhattan-ish, but he's kind of been very Doctor Manhattan-ish in this, anyways. Good. How about I just give a resolve to this comic? This last issue, I'll give a 3 out of 5 because it wasn't as good as the rest of the series, but it was a decent issue. I think the biggest problem with this issue is I don't like how they resolve stuff between Rita and with Captain Atom. But besides that, this deals with a lot of the questions that is delivered with Captain Atom, and I think it did deliver it pretty well in that when a normal man gets the powers of a god, what should he do with these powers? Does he have the right to bring people back to life, to cure cancer, to save people's lives, or to bring back the past? It's a lot of good questions. So 3.5 out of 5. It was a good issue. And I am sad Captain Adams leaving because it was a different kind of superhero comic, and it was very high concept, and I liked that. So JKT Crawl, good job because I did like this. On to Wonder Woman issue number 12. So the big climax between Apollo, Artemis, Wonder Woman, and Hermes happened, and it's all while Zola is giving birth on top of Mount Olympus. That's the comic. There is twists and turns at the end of it. Oh my god, shit got real. Wonder Woman basically says in this comic, shit has just got real. Um, Wonder Woman has been depowered in the New 52. There's a good reason why, and we get to see why she's been depowered. Um, but I won't go into that. I don't want to spoil anything. I'm just gonna tell you guys right now. I'm gonna start praising this comic because this is a 5 out of 5. This is a 20 out of 5. This issue was so good. The fighting was good. The characters was good. The pacing was good. The moments were good. The cliffhanger at the end was good. How the gods were portrayed in it was ballsy with the decisions that were made. Brian Azzarello, fantastic job on this. Wonder Woman has consistently shown to be some of the best in the New 52, within the top 3. It's right up there with Batman and Swamp Thing as one of the best comics, and one could argue the best of the New 52, along with Batman. This has been a great comic. Thank you very much, Brian Azzarello. If anybody reads this, you will enjoy it. There's one scene in particular right before the fight between Artemis and Wonder Woman at the end that you just go, shit got real. It is epic. This is what I love from Wonder Woman. Pick it up. Coming up on the last 2 titles, DC Universe presents Kid Flash. Um, Basically, this is Kid Flash dealing with dinosaur people. I know. Sounds kind of silly. That's basically the story. Him dealing with dinosaur people. Good. I thought the dialogue was actually handled very nicely in this. The art was really good, and I think the display of Kid Flash's power was very nice. Bad dinosaur people, really. And in addition to that, I thought this was going to divulge a bit into Kid Flash's origin, but it really didn't do anything. And I think that's what's going to hurt this comic the most with my grade, because I'm going to give it a 2.5 out of 5. This had every potential to be a good comic. It had great dialogue, good art, good understanding of the character, too. It's just the story didn't do anything. It served no purpose, and we didn't get any of Flash's origin, Kid Flash's origin. So 2.5 out of 5. And let's round out with Rorschach this week. I'm not the biggest Rorschach fan, and when it comes down to the Before Watchmen, I try not to give too much spoilers away. I'm not the biggest Rorschach fan, but this issue was really good. 4.5 out of 5. It's just Rorschach dealing with the case, but the art is really good, the dialogue is really good, and the ending was very nice, leading into the second issue. Um, Really good issue, actually. And I'm not a big Rorschach fan. Actually, he's one of my, not least favorite characters, but he's not within the top 5 of the Watchmen series. I know everyone loves Rorschach because he's gritty and he wears a fedora and his mask constantly changes and he had a troublesome childhood. I really don't give a shit about that. I don't care how gritty a character is. If the character's written well, that's what matters. And Rorschach is a good character. I just never really grown to him. But like I said, this issue was actually pretty good. So I mean, Brian Azzarello writes it, so you can expect something good from it. 4.5 out of 5. So, that is my comic load for this week. What are your opinions on the comics? Did you like them? Did you not like them? Let me know. And which comic will be my Andrew Carter pick of the week? I think we all know. But I do have some interesting news for you guys in my AC pick of the week video, so check that out when it happens, okay? I'm going to end my video here. This is Andrew saying peace out for now.